So this is going to be a video of more superficial measures, but try to keep in mind that I definitely believe that what's on the inside is more important than what's on the outside, as cliche as that may sound. This is a video for those who are looking for motivation and some tips and tricks, do's and don'ts for losing weight and or gaining lean muscle mass. My body transformation story is not one that occurred over a small period of time. For as long as I can remember, I was interested in the look of muscles, and the older that I got, that interest became more of a fascination. This interest was no doubt brought on by the ideal masculine physical image. I mean, from a young age, we're bombarded with muscled superheroes, action figures, and professional wrestlers. But anyway, this fascination was really no more than a passive fascination, if that makes sense. It wasn't until I was in 4th grade and my older brother was in 6th that things really started to kind of take off, you could say. One day at school, my brother came to the aid of a kid who was being picked on, and this naturally resulted in my brother getting beat up. My memory of the time period is a little bit foggy, but I do remember that my brother felt he needed to start working out so that maybe he could defend himself in the future. And just for some giggles, here's my brother then, and here he is now. But I digress. So I'm his younger brother, and naturally I look up to him. So this inspired me to want to start working out as well. But even then, it wasn't such a serious thing for me anyway. I would do push-ups and sit-ups, maybe arm curls every once in a while. But really, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know about form or even having proper nutrition. This is me in 7th grade after about a year or so of quote-unquote working out. High school, I would say, is when things really began to get more serious, since there was a gym available and all of the upperclassmen would ask, "How much you bench?" So I invested in some whey protein powders and protein bars and what have you. And I did a lot of heavy stuff in the gym, primarily barbell bench press. Yeah, I was kind of that guy. I was obsessed with bench maxing. And I actually got pretty strong, even though I still didn't know exactly what I was doing. Now, of course, we work out for our health, but there is also the aesthetics aspect, and I did not like the way that I looked. I couldn't quite grasp why I wouldn't get those nice lean cuts in my muscles. Now, my present-day self kind of wishes that he could go back in time and smiggity-smack his past self. Because you see, I knew what cardio and calories were, but at the same time, I was oblivious to the effects that they had on the body. So I started to gather more information and more knowledge, and little by little, I gave up sweets and snacks. And I might have went for a run or something every once in a while. Beginning in 2011, my senior year of high school was when it all started to come together, you could say. Because this is when I began to use home workout programs like P90X or Supreme 90 Day. And I actually got pretty good results. Actually, I'd say great results. And not just in my body, but also I ended up learning a lot about circuit training and what have you. And though I love my results, I needed more. You see, I needed independence, and I needed something more. So after completing these programs a few times, I began to formulate my own workouts. And I had a great time doing it too, because it allowed me to be more creative. And those results just seemed to keep on coming, so I upped the intensity. Things seemed to be going great for a while, but then I let them get out of hand. The summer of 2012 was a roller coaster for my body. I must have been running long distance every day on top of weightlifting and jump rope. Things eventually became so bad that I tore a muscle in my shoulder. But I was so stubborn about my workouts that I still exercised it. It's important to mention that during this time, my diet was also pretty radical. I was getting probably around 2,000 to 2,500 calories every day, and that really was not enough to support me. Along with that, I was on some slightly tamer version of the Atkins diet. My carbs came primarily from fruits and vegetables, and I was probably having a serving of a grain about every 2 weeks. Trust me, you need a large amount of grains in your diet. Just make sure they aren't refined grains. Do not listen to anybody who tells you to cut grains from your diet. Clearly things had gotten out of hand. But it wasn't until the end of that summer that I realized, as well as accepted it. My friends and I were going to an 80s themed event in the city, and I saw this picture of myself. I was absolutely scrawny. During that entire summer, my body fat ranged from about 4% to about 6%. Essentially, I let my body cannibalize itself, and I needed to change that. After that summer had ended, I went away for college. Wasn't too happy about that, but I digress. Here I had pretty much unlimited access to the cafeteria. Long story short, I gained about 20 pounds after the first month. I went from about 140 to around 160. But trust me, it was not all muscle. My first semester of college is a story in itself, but it's not necessary to tell in order to finish this body transformation tale. So I'll just leave it at, I hated it, and my self-confidence was at an all-new low. So that next semester I did my schooling in my hometown. I came home for college, and that's where I tried to develop a healthier body image and just repair my confidence in my self-image. What you see here is the most recent picture of myself that I have on here. I believe it's from November or December 2013. I hope this served as good food for thought. But remember these last few things. Everyone is different, so find out what works best for you. Experiment to find out the right path that you need to take. And always consult a physician before making any radical changes to your diet and lifestyle. Finally, it is important to keep in mind that our primary focus should be what is on the inside. Our internal organs and inner workings, as well as what kind of person we are, and what kind of character we have. Don't let society tell you what kind of body to have. Choose the body that you want, but remember to be healthy in your choices. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video and are interested in more. Thank you and have a groovy day.